Someone throws up or pees or faints in class, depending on the grade, what would you do? Okay, so we said that one of the first things to do if it's the throwing up or the peeing is call the janitor and get it cleaned up. With all of the instances, we said it's important, if it's not something that happens regularly, to call the parents. If, like, say you're in a kindergarten class and the kid is always peeing themselves, the parents might have scent clothes because it happens daily. You're going to need to do some crowd control because no matter what happens, they're always going to gather and laugh or giggle or talk or yeah. So you're going to need to do some crowd control, whether it's in your classroom, on the playground, wherever. The passing out and fainting thing, as well as the throwing up thing, could indicate a medical condition, so you should call the office, get medical help, call the parent. It should be on the student's record as well, whether or not they have a medical condition. So, but you don't want to, think, oh, well, it's nothing, the kid will be fine. You should get the medical help. We were talking about the lady who fell and hit her head on the ice and died. We were saying that, in that instance, she thought she was fine.
Yes.
So we don't want to, as teachers, we don't want to be accountable for saying that they're fine. You want to make sure they get the proper medical help.
Well, especially if they're fainting. But throwing up, they got the stomach flu. Shouldn't have been at school in the first place, and they threw up.
They could have been poisoned. You never know.
Whoa, what show do you watch?
No, they can. They could have picked up like cleaning products or something. They could have eaten something in their.
Well, that is possible. Yes, it does happen.
That's more common than the fainting.
Yes. So. But the other thing is you always have to call the caretaker anyways, because he throws that sawdust out and the room smells and you have to leave the room and everything. But usually the urination is usually for the primaries, or if there's a DH development in the handicapped class, they usually have spare clothes as well. Yeah, great. And sometimes you may have a child in the class, they see someone throwing up, they do it. Like it's a chance. Seriously, it's gay. I can't stand it. So it depends on that too. Question, please.
Well, it's a comment. I've had that happen in a grade 1 class. I was an EA, and we just end up taking the rest of the kids out of the class because of that reason. Some kids, if they're in there in the smell, so and it becomes less of an issue because you're distracting them. Okay, let's go to the gym or let's go to the library. Line up, and we go until it's dealt with. Yeah.
Especially the common.
Yeah.
Great. And also, even if they did throw up and it was because they're not feeling well, still write a note in the agenda or the planner that you call it to let the parent know that they weren't well. Okay?